Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamak. This is Let's Play Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore. And for a start, I'm prepared this time. I have my list of things that I have to show off in the final area. I have the thing that I wanted to do last episode but didn't. And... well, we've got to make our way into the final area of the game, yeah? This is just a little bit scripted, but I've been thinking about this for actually quite some time, and I wanted to make a proper full thing out of it. So yes, it's what I'm going to be talking about is written out for me in advance, but it's going to give us something to do with all these random encounters that we're going to be going through. What is that? Ellie and Kiria are not a good stat combo, let's be fair. But maybe... okay, this works. Although we aren't getting Barry, that's not the worst thing in the world. What I have here, basically what I thought a while back was, hey, what would happen if you were to take all the... I need to hit you first. What would happen if you take the usual Arcana, Continental Social Links types from a Persona game and were to apply it to the story of this game? I was actually surprised that I was able to come up with entries for every social link, which I think is cool, but... okay, so here's the thing. Arcana aren't supposed to be a one-person only sort of thing. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be comprised of several different ones. Oh, you are lucky there, Kiria. Right, you have to be sorted. Sure, let's hit him with a harder sword, why not? I can check something off of my list. But I just feel like this was an interesting thing to do for the Let's Play to fit. And since I'm going to be doing a lot of filler stuff in order to get through side quests and get through this last area because it is actually very long. We might as well, right? You might as well come up with something to fill it in, and this whole social link collection is one of them. Keep in mind that I am definitely not an expert. I asked around online and I actually couldn't find an expert to help me with it, so this is all just stuff from sites I remember and a lot of stuff taken from the Persona wiki. Maglify, no thanks. Anyway, let's start with Arcana 0, the full Arcana. It represents innocence, divine inspiration. Need to focus on this one at first so we can we can get rid of everything. Yes, we have Amrita, that's nice. You have a stronger Gale Strike, yes. But yeah, represents innocence, divine inspiration, madness, freedom, spontaneity, inexperienced chaos, and creativity. Protagonists in Persona games tend to be this. So yeah, it makes sense for Itsuki to be this for this game. It strikes me that it's actually quite difficult to do this, so I've got to fill it in the session stuff. His arc is all about supporting the others, in a similar vein to Social Chameleon that you or Akira are. But unlike them, it's more that his personality is very subdued and supportive, rather than matching what the other wants to hear. Yeah, he basically helps everyone out. That's not a very long entry, let's be fair. So, Arcana 1, the Magician. Commonly associated with action, initiative, self-confidence, immaturity, manipulation, and the power to harness one's talents. In Persona, these characters are typically the first male friend in Social Link. There has been a female position character in Persona 1, but it's not a game I've played. I'd like to talk about games I've experienced. They're usually perverts as well, with some sort of romantic tragedy. Can we hit you again? No. We need the electricity. In Persona 3, Kenji was the magician Arcana of Social Link. It was all about his want to date a teacher, and continuously seeing evidence that she returned his feelings. She didn't. It was a bit of a poor taste to Social Link, let's be fair. But Junpei was the party member with Magician Link because this was before all party members had a guaranteed social link with you. Only the female characters had social links. Only the female party members had social links with you in that game, and oh, I need to swap out a Carnage. Well, we maxed out Sword Glacier. We have Ice Slash. Junpei did have envy for the protagonist actually. I remember it was I don't remember exactly which full moon counts as what, but it was the one involving shadow lovers. Is that he does actually come up to you and say, look, I'm pretty. I've got to be fair, I'm pretty envious of you. He wanted to be the cool leader and he was very annoyed he didn't get to be. His arc was resolved by the girl he was serious about sacrificing herself to save him, so there's another tragic romance there. The whole story thing. Yusuke, Persona 4. He's both the social link and the party member for Magician. His involvement in the plot was kicked off by Saki Konishi's murder, but his major character flaw he had to grow past was, hey, I kind of hate everything about this dull place. I need excitement. Unfortunately, accepting that leads to a lot of the slice of flesh shenanigans that drag down the filler of Persona 4, but what can you do? Persona 5, Morgana is the social link and the party member for that, and you can see the patterns pretty strong there. He's the first party member, he has an unrequited romantic dream towards Aunt Kamaki, and a lot of his arc about his immaturity and refusing to accept, hey, you aren't human. He does find a place to belong to in the Phantom Thieves at least. Now where was I hitting people? Oh! I've been so busy reading this, I actually haven't been seeing people beating everyone up. Anyway, that's for a resolve we can check off. Okay, now, ironically, shortly before I started Let's Playing this game, I thought, man, I wonder what a female magician would be like. I've come to the conclusion it would basically be Tsubasa. Her side stories and an unfortunate amount of the main story are all about her growing in talent as an idol. Yeah, we can save on healing Ellie just a little bit longer. After all, the reason she applied to be an idol is because she wanted to find out what happened to her sister. There's the power to harness one's talents right there. And Tsubasa also creates a love triangle I'd rather never talk about it ever again, thanks. Priestess is the second arcana, a symbol of hidden knowledge or other untapped power, wisdom, female mystery, and patience. I can't fill in these while I'm talking, but I'll try anyhow. In Persona games, Priestess Arcana women are quiet, reserved, hardworking, and very intelligent, but also modest and shy. Aside from that last point, I feel this applies to Kiria the most. Her Mirage is larger after all, and I should probably preface that unless they're on their own, I'd like to not take the Mirages for their own Arcana. Let's leave some for the rest of them. It fits into Persona style quite nicely with her being the group mage. The untapped power ties into how her side stories are about accepting the parts of her that she's been neglecting until now. She's also the longest term asset of Fortuna Entertainment. That's where the wisdom part comes into it. Priestesses of the Persona games are Fukuyama Gishi, the girl who eventually comes to appreciate her strengths in electronics rather than doing what all girls should do. I mean, the social link was started off by you needing to have max rank courage so you could eat her cooking. Do not forget to heal Ellie. The games may neglect her, but I really shouldn't. Actually, does anyone have a weakness to Bufu spells? Yes. Let's do it. We need to fish the labyrinth after all. Getting it out of the way now so I don't have to think about it later. Anyway, Yukiko Magi is the Persona 4 priestess. She comes to appreciate that her current position is where everything she loves is, and that what she resented was what she felt forced into her situation. It strikes me that a lot of this discussion is probably going to rely on people that... A lot of my notes seem to rely on people already knowing about the Persona games. So if you are tuning into this for the first time, sorry. Of course I just used Mediarama to heal up the party, why not? Makoto Nijima is the priestess of Persona 5. She learns how her position as student council president should be used to help people rather than enforce the rules. And she does actually have a lot of a learning curve in that social link. So, the Empress Arcana is number 3. It represents mothers, prosperity, creativity, sexuality, abundance, fertility, protection, and comfort. In Persona games, they tend to excel in ice-based attacks and healing. Within Persona universe, this often belongs to women of authority or wise and motherly figures. If you go just by the wiki definition, then my pick here is strange, but somewhere else, and I couldn't find it again. Picture the priestess picture the Empress as tending a garden with her love, with the reverse being flowers withered from neglect. And suddenly it makes sense for this to be Momori. Her role in the industry is about a TV show that should about easy ways to take care of yourself. Her fan base is the ones that she nurtures. Heck, just look at the crossovers. Looking for others is her whole stick is remembering. Of course, another recurring trait is protecting others, and that ties into her Arcana as well. She's the knight standing in to protect everyone important to her. That she also has stage rank title as Ballad Empress, that's just a fun coincidence. I get the feeling that Bow Glacier is actually one of the X would become an X skill if she went general, but I can't be certain off the top of my head. We have Forsaken Tragedy, and that gives us an Itsuki Radiance skill, huh? But yeah, this is the trick to this area. You come down here, you get onto this block. It moves you one step across. This doesn't take us anywhere new, but it opens up a lot of new... It suddenly shifts the whole floating green platform puzzle around, and you can now move in different ways to before. You can't take this one. The door is locked. Actually, it reminds me of an old puzzle where it was supposedly a competitive little mini game, but there was a trick to it that made it impossible for... Basically, you had 2 coins. They'd take turns moving, and you had to figure out a way for the for one to catch the other. But because of their starting positions, it was impossible for them to line up in that way unless you took them across a certain point. Anyway, back to where I was. Emperor 4 symbolizes the desire to control one's surroundings. Suggests one is trying too hard to achieve this. Specifically, while the Empress is about nurturing others, the Emperor is about protecting them via rules and the enforcement of such. Who do we hit? Oh hey, he's panicked. Cool. I need to hunt for back door or something. Again! I'm doing it now so I don't have to think about it later. I'll admit, it's a cute touch that it's a sort of a shout out to the Squid Sisters in Splatoon. Thank you for using the Amrita soda on me, we didn't need it though. Darn it, no one's weak to ice.
Yes.
Anyway, the Persona games, the Emperor Arcana Link, they tend to have a strong eye for detail. The original Emperor Link of the Persona 3 was a rules-mad student council member who was working with a teacher to root out the smoker in the school. But he eventually decides he trusted you more than the teacher, to the point of even refusing to even consider you as a suspect and losing his deal with said teacher. Like, I remember it clearly, that in one of his social links is you walking past and hearing him arguing with the teacher saying, look, he's always hanging out after school in strange places at night. Clearly he's not trustworthy, just put his name down as a possible suspect. And getting shut down completely. I get the feeling it was that same jerk-ass teacher that's always showing up in those places he's not wanted. Like the one that decided that Fuka being missing shouldn't be reported because it makes him look bad. This guild fishing is actually I need to use my special performances. I'm at max, I'm going to need a lot of it by the end of this. But anyway, yeah. The thing is, it also had Akihiko as a party member with the Emperor Link, and he was obsessed with getting stronger so that he'd never lose someone ever again. Because that was sort of a big backstory thing for the whole C's group. That things had gone pretty badly at some point. And going back even further than that, Akihiko's sister died in a fire. And then we have Persona 4 with Kanji, both social link and party member. I think it's from the right arrows. It's still not maxed, but we'll get there someday. What if I want to power it up further anyway? Anyway. The thing is, Kanji's uncertainty with his own identity kind of led to him being an excessively violent person. Noting he's famous for beating the stuffing out of a biker gang that was keeping his mother up late at night. He tracked them down on a bicycle and beat them senseless with a shield from Daidara. That's a backstory that I've heard about but never seen because I've only played through Persona 4 once. And very few Let's Players that I've watched ever really go out to look for the details that make games fun. Anyhow, I guess this one's somewhere new. He's also an expert sewer and crafter, able to pick out little details like someone's clothes having some loose threads, and it driving him crazy. Poor girl thought she was going to get beaten up by Kanji when he really just wanted to fix her shirt. And then we have Yusuke in Persona 5. He's all about that passion for my artistic prowess. Let's separate beauty from vice. There's not an awful lot to say about him. He's hyper focused on his art. He's a very simple character. This is a bit of a mixed bag. By the original definition, we'd probably have Barry here, since he's all about looking out for memory. A bit too enthusiastically, if we're honest. And he wants nobody near her. He's all sorts of follow the rules of Dear Witch trainees and Memory's fan club, with some serious envy towards Itsuki in Side Story 3. He's a father figure, just not a very good one. If we go by social link definitions, then a much better pick is Yashiro. He's all about perfecting his craft. Actually, wait. Final hour. We can check that off the list. Alright. But yeah, Yashiro, he's all about perfecting his craft. It's reminiscent of the attention to detail that Kanji and Yusuke had. For him, perfection isn't an ideal, it's the way he was raised. Number 5 is the Hierophant. Do I feel like going for luck? Yeah, let's do it. Darn, no back chorus. Okay, another one we can check off. Deep Chill. So, the Hierophant is a symbol of education, authority, conservatism, obedience to the rules, and relationship with the divine. Social links involving them tend to have characters older than the protagonist and are typically quite wise and logical. Persona 3 had the old couple running the bookstore. It was about them wanting the school to leave the tree planted in honor of their son alone, but they decided at the end of the link to let them cut it down anyway. Because letting the kids learn stuff, and basically they saw it as, yeah, let's be fair, this is actually for the better. We can't have them held back by our own desire for peace with the past. Also, another number off the list. Thankfully, in post-game conversations, it ends up being that the school decided to move the tree somewhere safer rather than chopping it down, which is very nice, thank you. This was also the Arcana of Shinjiru Agaki, or Shinji as we could go with. He's one of the original founding members of SEAS. He only joins for a short time in the actual game, which is probably why no one ever remembers his Arcana. Also, I maxed out all my carnages without realizing it. I should probably go and re-equip everyone. No Tetragard. It's weird because Tetragard is basically worse Tetracon, but we can just buy an infinite number of Tetracons, so why would you bother? It might simply be that you have a floating crystal for some reason. and a Master Seal. I have a feeling that this is going to be a boss fight. What's this? Looks like something might fit into this hollow. Now that I think about it, that crystal I picked up, looks like it might fit in here. What should I do? Should I try putting the crystal in here? Don't do anything, please. There are actually quite a few mini-boss battles in this area, and we need to be prepared for them. Also, we have 5 minutes to kill. I want to finish my thing. I want to finish talking about this though. So, Hierophant. Persona 4 had Hierophant as Ryotaro Jojima, your uncle. His neglect of Nanako was a pretty intense part of that social link. Learn to accept. It's basically him learning to see that, yeah, throwing yourself into your wife's case, it's not for anyone's sake, it's you running away. By the end of it, he still is looking into the case, but he does flat out state, it's not me running away from Nanako anymore. I'm doing it because it's my job. Did I murder all the shadows in this area? Or Persona? I'm just so busy talking about Persona, I'm getting the names mixed up. Yeah, he's still looking into the case because he's a cop and it's his job. Wait, I do see that there's something secretive over here somewhere. Oh wait, no. Oh. I thought there was a secret area there, but there isn't. Anyhow, Persona 5, it's Sojiro. Another fatherly figure. He also has regrets of the women he cared for, regrets of the death of the woman he cared for that Dojima had. He took in Futaba Sakura as a way to make amends. His confidant was about him coming to see that he should be protecting his family rather than just appeasing the dead. Because, well, protecting his family is, in a way, making up to her. But anyway. This does sort of tie into Barry a bit more, but he's not a good example of a father figure. He's just a father figure. But he is a teacher at the studio, and he looks out for Memory, and keeps referring to Tiki and Memory as angels, so technically in relationship with the divine. It's just, he needs more development to be a pleasant person to be around. But if we go by social link stereotypes, we can have a more interesting case. We don't have to stick to the main cast, and movie maker Tarantino counts pretty well here. He has an obsession with the past. He wants to make his current production bigger and better than everything else, and he educates Tsubasa rather well, I don't know what term I should use, but there's a certain morbid finality to the whole thing with how she walks away. The point that I'm surprised, the only reason I didn't play Funeral March over it is because I wouldn't know where to get the music. Right, here we have, albeit through torturous methods both before and after Exilus possessed him. But when he sees Tsubasa, Tuma and Ellie do have potential to really shake up the film industry, he actually fights Exilus off to protect him. So Barry can be 5.5, halfway between Emperor and Hierophant. Tarantino can be 6, and the actual Hierophant. And in the next episode I'm going to insert that crystal because I'm pretty sure we're going to see something very... We're going to see some mid-boss here. I have a 75% certainty to it. Until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around, and I hope that what I'm telling you about isn't a complete waste of time. Take care everyone, I'll see you all around.